Caution. This video contains stories about death and misfortune. Viewer discretion is advised. A gem responsible for a princess jumping from a building. An unlucky amethyst that always finds its way back. And a diamond with over 10 dead victims. Welcome back to Only Lux. I'm Luxor, your badass robot concierge of extravagance. Today we are delving into the darker depths of luxury, where diamonds cost not only a fortune, but could cost your life. Here are the most cursed diamonds and gems in existence, starting with the Hope Diamond. This diamond, worth an estimated $250 million or more, is attributed with a curse that allegedly brings misfortune or tragedy to those who own or touch it. The first victim? The French gem merchant who brought the diamond to Europe in the 17th century, Jean-Baptiste Tavernier. Legends say he stole the diamond from a Hindu statue, where it served as one of the eyes. The priests of the temple cursed the stone and all who would possess it. Tavernier supposedly suffered a great misfortune towards the end of his life, including being torn apart and killed by wild dogs on a trip to Russia. The Sun King, King Louis XIV of France, who purchased the diamond from Tavernier and had it recut in 1673, is also said to have been a victim of the curse of the Hope Diamond. Louis XIV enjoyed a long reign, yet all but one of his children died in childhood, outliving his heirs. His kingdom suffered devastating famines, and they also battled a series of smallpox outbreaks. He suffered lifelong sciatica, and would meet his ultimate demise upon contracting gangrene that destroyed the tissues in his leg and took his life. More victims of the Hope Diamond curse are Marie Antoinette and Louis XVI. The diamond was part of the French crown jewels during their reign, and both met gruesome ends via guillotine during the French Revolution. And the last private owner of the Hope Diamond, Evelyn Walsh McLean, was a wealthy socialite who bought the diamond in 1911. Despite initially scoffing at the idea of a curse, McLean suffered a series of personal tragedies. They include the death of her son being hit by an automobile at only age 9, her husband leaving her for another woman and eventually dying in a sanitarium, and her daughters passing from a sleeping pill overdose. With over 10 people noted as potential victims of the Hope Diamond curse, there's no wonder why it's considered so deadly to own. The next cursed diamond has a long and storied history of ruining the life of any man who possesses it, while supposedly bringing good luck to female adorners. The Koh-i-Noor, whose name translates to Mountain of Light in Persian, is more like a diamond of darkness if you ask me, passing through the hands of various rulers in India, Persia, and Afghanistan. The diamond has a lengthy list of victims, before becoming part of the British crown jewels. Some of the men who suffered tragic endings are Humayun, the eldest son of Babur, the founder of the Mughal Empire in the modern region of India. Babur captured the Koh-i-Noor diamond after defeating the Sultan of Delhi in 1526. The diamond was passed on to his son, Humayun, whose life was plagued with war with his own fraternal brothers, exile from his own home, an opium addiction, and a tragic death via accident of irony. While descending a flight of stairs in his palace, he heard the azan, the Islamic call to pray. Attempting to kneel and perform his religious duties, Humayun caught his foot in his robe, causing him to tumble down several steps and smash his temple on a rugged stone edge. He died 3 days later. Following this, Shah Jahan, a later Mughal emperor famous for commissioning the Taj Mahal, had the Koh-i-Noor placed in his ornate peacock throne. His reign ended in tragedy when he was deposed and imprisoned by his own son, Aurangzeb. Shah Jahan spent his final years gazing upon the Taj Mahal on house arrest from afar. Upon acquisition via the East India Company following the Anglo-Sikh Wars, the Koh-i-Noor was to be presented to Queen Victoria in 1850, but without leaving its reputation behind. The voyage back to England saw an outbreak of cholera on board, nearly causing mayhem. Shortly afterwards, the vessel was hit by a severe storm that blew for some 12 hours. It is currently set in the crown of Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, and has only been adorned by women in the royal family. If you were royalty, would you want to adorn a diamond on your crown associated with so much tragedy? Let us know in the comments. Our next devious diamond, the Black Orloff, is also known as the Eye of Brahma diamond. This 67.5-carat black diamond has a lore that claims it was once one of the eyes in a statue of the Hindu god Brahma. in a shrine near Pondicherry, India. From this statue, it was stolen by a monk, thereby cursing it for future owners. An early 20th century diamond dealer, J.W. Paris, is said to have brought the Black Orlov diamond to the United States. Not long after, in the 1930s, he reportedly jumped to his death from one of New York City's skyscrapers. A Russian princess, Princess Nadia Viegin Orlov, is rumored to be the source of the curse, owning the diamond before she allegedly took her own life in a similar fashion as Paris. Her demise came by jumping from a building in Rome. It's worth noting that, in an attempt to break the curse, the diamond was reportedly split into 3 pieces by a jeweler. The Black Orlov now sits, without any recent incident, at the Museum of Natural History in New York City. And finally, the only non-diamond on this list, the Delhi Sapphire. This gemstone, also known as the Gem of Sita, is surrounded by tales of a curse. The Delhi Sapphire is not actually a sapphire, but rather a large 486-carat amethyst. It was said to have been looted from the Temple of Indra in Kanpur by a British soldier during the Indian Rebellion of 1857, also known as the Sepoy Mutiny. Being stolen from the temple dedicated to Indra, the Hindu god of war and weather, might give reason for the source of the stone's supposed curse. Later on, Edward Heron Allen, an accomplished English polymath, came into possession of the gem and famously regarded the amethyst as triple cursed, going great lengths to distance himself from it. Concerned about the sapphire's ominous reputation, he repeatedly tried to pass it on to friends. However, these attempts were futile as the gem was invariably returned to him after the new owners encountered their own misfortunes, including a singer who mysteriously lost her voice after acquiring the stone. In a desperate bid to rid himself of the cursed object, Heron Allen threw it into the Regent Canal, this only for it to inexplicably reappear in his hands 3 months later, sold back to him by a street vendor who had obtained it from a dredger. Worried about the potential effects on his newborn daughter, Heron Allen secured the stone in a bank vault with strict instructions for his banker to open it no earlier than 3 years after his death. Ultimately, his daughter grew up unharmed and bequeathed the amethyst to the Natural History Museum in London, where a note from Heron Allen detailed the gem's accursed legacy. Despite the dramatic tales of misfortune associated with the Delhi Sapphire, it has remained in the museum's collection without incident, for now. And there you have it, the most cursed diamonds and gems in existence. If you had the money, would you risk possessing any of these gems? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoy luxury and diamonds, check out our most popular, most expensive diamonds in the world video. Thank you for joining us, and subscribe to Only Lux for more outrageously opulent purchases. Until next time, Luxor.